Hey, real quick, before we dive in, if you're an agency owner who is doing everything yourself, I want to let you know about this 7 day free trial opening up for the agency playbook. This is our full 8 system framework that over 20,000 agency owners have used to scale smarter. This is the exact system that I normally sell for over $1,600, but right now you can dive in and test it out. If you're ready to stop winging it and start building an agency that runs without you, head over to jasonswank.com/playbook. That's jasonswank.com/playbook. Hey, Phil, welcome to the show.
Hi, Jason. Great to be with you in the audience today.
Tell us who you are and what you do.
Yeah, so I'm Phil Parrish. I'm the co-founder and president of Programmetrics. We go to market as a programmatic advertising agency, though we specialize in all forms of digital paid media. So that does include paid search and paid social. I founded the agency. We actually just celebrated our 10-year anniversary last month, April of 2025. So we've been operating for 10 years. The agency has certainly evolved since 2015. But that's a little bit about myself, and obviously my role with the agency is really shaping our strategic vision and growth plan. That said, we are a boutique team. We're small, nimble, and mighty. And I do enjoy being able to engage with clients as well.
What made you start the agency? Was this by accident? Did you know to do something cool? What?
I wouldn't say it was necessarily by accident. I think as I was growing in my career and having some exposure to M&A and kind of a seat at the table, I always knew I wanted to start my own business. I think that I got to a point in my career where I had developed these long-term client relationships where people would do business with me if I branched out and I guess assumed that risk. So that was comforting and always helpful when looking to start your own enterprise. But in all of the things I learned throughout my career, I got to a point where you're asking yourself, I can do all of these things that this company I work at does. So why don't I just do it for myself? So that's what really, motivated me to start the agency. And, within a short amount of time, we had paying customers. So it helped de-risk the launch of the company.
And, over the 10 years, obviously you've gone through several different phases and stages. And have you gotten to a points over those areas where you're like, is it the business is going under, or I don't know if I can grow it any further? And then it's like something surprised you and then you got over that. Has that happened?
That's a good and interesting question. I would say that in our journey, we've never been at a point, at least financially speaking, where it's, oh my goodness, are we going to cover payroll? Am I going to need to put capital into the business, almost like loan from shareholder to fund operations? We never got to that point. Were there times when we were uncertain about our pipeline or potentially losing a key customer? Yes. So there were some stressful points, but I feel pretty fortunate, Jason, overall, because I've networked with a lot of agencies. We partner with a lot of agencies, which we can talk about perhaps, but we haven't been to a point where we thought the business was at risk of folding. Obviously COVID-19 and the pandemic caused a lot of uncertainty and issues, in the market when that emerged. And we felt that at first, but that year ended up being a really high growth year for us because everything was already trending digital. But now you had all of these marketers that may have been investing 6 figures in events or something that had to redeploy those funds. So it actually helped our business. So I look back at those moments, Jason, when we were faced with massive uncertainty and not knowing if customers were going to continue investing, and to look back and say we actually got through that time period and grew during it gives us a lot of confidence moving forward. So I think you got to have a good business plan. You have to offer strategic value in the market. You got to make some strategic bets, and you just need to be laser focused and look at it as, hey, my back's against the wall and I have only one direction, and that's forward.
Yeah. I mean, when COVID happened, I was like, oh man, this is like, it was that knee jerk reaction. I mean, really everything from, the dot bomb, 9/11,
COVID to financial crisis, all up until, now everyone always has a knee jerk reaction. And then it's like, all right, like the cream will rise to the top. You just got to do things a little bit different, figure it out, especially with all of this attention on AI, which there should be attention on it. I mean, it is a complete game changer. And I think a lot of people are looking at it differently. And some people are looking at it in the incorrect way, where they're just like, how can I use it to do social posts and use the stupid rocket emoji? And
Yeah, we're certainly investing in AI. We're actually building a product, using AI. And that said, as I look at our strategic growth plan over the next 3 years, we're not trying to become a technology-based agency. I mean, we leverage really robust advertising platforms that are very complex. We've done that from day one. So we're still going to be a service-oriented strategy execution firm. But by adopting AI and leveraging it to change the way we work and deliver for clients is critical moving forward. And so, look, we've done a lot of research. We've talked with third parties, and it's clear that clients want speed, insights, and impact or performance from their agencies. And so I think agencies that have depended on, time is my inventory, and the more time I can bill, the more revenue I can drive, are going to struggle if they don't modernize their operations using AI. And so we're a value-based agency. And fundamentally, we're looking at AI tools, not just to create efficiency. I think that's the point you were making earlier. And I don't think where you were coming from, Jason, is that, hey, using AI to distribute social posts or to create long form content like blogs is a bad thing. That's a good thing. But if that's the extent to which you are using AI within your agency, there's so much more opportunity. And so, to give you a specific example, our director of technology and ad ops, who has been with our firm for over 7 years now, is currently working on a product offering whereby we're licensing a data warehouse to store this immense amount of data that we get from all of the various advertising platforms we use, from the Trade Desk, which is our programmatic buying platform, to Meta and LinkedIn and Google and TikTok, et cetera. And then we're using AI to query that data. We're in the process of developing what we're calling our own proprietary optimization techniques or rules-based optimizations that are unique to our agency. And ultimately, the end goal, and we're going to measure this, Jason, is to deliver better advertising performance for our clients, number one, deliver more impactful insights faster for our clients, because that's what they expect. And so when I say we're measuring, how AI will impact our business, it has to extend beyond just efficiency gains. We have to show that these investments we're making, the tools we're leveraging, are driving a positive impact on our margins and overall ability to scale.
I just fired an agency that was working for us. And man, that's a longer story, and maybe we'll link that up. I think Darby and I just recorded one on that, so we'll link it up. But the thing that I'm always looking for as a client is I want to work with an agency that is ingrained in everything that they do. Because here's an example that I did. I went to my ads manager account. I just took screenshots of that. I exported the shitty reports that Shitbook gives us. And then I put it into AI and I asked it questions. I said, wow, these are really bad ads. Like, you've been running this ad for a while. You haven't changed the creative. Boom, boom, boom. Made suggestions, all these different things that I would have thought this agency would have done
naturally within their operations.
They're operating like it was 5 years ago. They're not adapting quick enough. You nailed it. And I interviewed Jay Barry, has a great book out. We'll link up to that as well. And it's all about speed. We want speed. right? And we want to see quick wins too. The time of giving you $100K to your agency for this huge retainer, and then you going off for a couple months and then returning with a report are over. Stop doing this. Look for those little wins and communicate often, and constantly, like, if you're not putting out content about how you're doing using AI and letting clients know this is what you need to do to use AI, because they're too damn lazy to do it anyway. Like, for example, like the other day I took screenshots of all of our stats and export them out. I just took screenshots, uploaded them to AI, and it gave me back amazing insights. And think about all these platforms that have all these stats that we look at, and someone like me, right brain, ADHD, dyslexia, all that stuff, like I look at it and like I want to throw up. But then it makes it, like, it dumbs it down for someone as dumb as me. It's amazing. I love it.
You make several great points there. So a couple of things that resonate that I want to touch back to is that there is still opportunity for agencies to bring their authority and industry knowledge to the table. I mean, that still matters. But our view is that it only matters when it's paired with velocity. And to your point, because we work with mid-market B2B brands, specifically B2B SaaS, fintech and financial services companies, we partner with other agencies as well that don't do programmatic or paid media in-house. Usually it's a creative agency or full service agency that needs an outsourced trusted partner. And then we do work with e-commerce and retail direct-to-consumer brands as well. But your point on, hey, if you're working with a mid-market or enterprise brand that's investing 6 to 7 figures in your solution, now, a good portion of the majority of that is ad spend, right? But then we have our agency fee, retainer, management fee, whatever you want to call it, on top. You have to create a great first impression. And that starts with your onboarding process, how detail oriented you are, how much the client feels they can breathe off their issues, and that you'll shoulder it and point them in the right direction clearly. So it doesn't always feel like a homework assignment for them. But then once you're up and running, to your point, Jason, with that much capital at stakes, you have to deliver some quick wins that give them the confidence, right? Before they're looking to cancel or not renew. And it's just amazing what we can do with AI to not only deliver the standard metrics that one can view when they log into their ad account, right? I mean, that's not delivering anything of unique value. That's by default, whether that's clicks or click-through rate or conversions or cost per acquisition. But using AI, I mean, we can understand things like the path to conversion. I mean, how many impressions does it take before a user converts? What's the time between first touch to last touch? How does an upper funnel media channel like connected TV or podcast advertising have on a downstream last click channel like Facebook ads or Google paid search, right? So being able to tell us a clear story about the campaign, insights about audience segments that are performing well, insights about messaging that delivers better performance. Those are all things using technology and AI that we can deliver quickly. But the only way your agency is going to be able to do that is if you are using AI and you have a game plan about how we're going to structure it, staff it, and sell it. It can't just be a tool a few members of your team are using to save 2 hours a week. It needs to be part of your business operations and how you deliver for clients. And if you aren't embracing these tools in that manner, at least this is our belief, then really savvy marketers, they're just going to use AI internally and they're not going to hire an external agency. Or if they can't bring it in-house, they're going to find an agency who has that clear of a game plan with these tools, because it's no longer a nicety. It's a requirement. We see in RFPs, which we don't typically like to respond to RFPs, or inbound requests we get in the market. One of the key questions is, how are you using AI throughout your organization? And how is it going to benefit our campaign performance?
Hi there, agency owners. Let me ask you, are you ready to scale your agency without increasing your overhead costs?
If yes, then you need to know about E2M Solutions. Now, E2M is the number one most reliable white label partner for agencies. They specialize in web design, WordPress development, e-commerce, SEO, and content writing. They basically do all the heavy lifting, which frees you up to focus on growing your agency. Now, here's the best part. E2M is just not another vendor. With over 10 years of experience, their team of over 300 experts has a track record of delivering for more than 300 agencies. They're your strategic partner. They deliver on time every time, so you can focus on what you do best. Now, E2M's mission is simple: to help 500 agencies increase their revenue and profit margins with white label services that actually work. And to help you get started, they're offering a special deal, 10% off for the first 3 months, but act fast because it's only a limited time offer. So head over to e2msolutions.com/smartagency to check out their transparent and their flexible pricing. Trust me, if you're ready to grow without burning out, E2M is the partner you've been looking for. That's e2msolutions.com/smartagency. Go check them out and tell them Jason Swank sent you. We were chatting in the mastermind, like AI is not going to replace you, but the people that use it. Because look, I don't want to just do a machine and just keep asking questions. Like, a lot of people are not like me. They don't understand the questions that they need to ask for this data, or they don't even understand the data that they have or where that actually is. And so agencies are never going away. The agencies that are acting like dinosaurs, kind of like when digital came out, yeah, they're going away. And the ones that don't deliver, like the one I just fired, right? Because now AI is going to out you. They're going to be like, you suck. You're running bad ads. And then the customer or the client is going to understand that and be like, man, you're not doing your job. You're not even getting to us. Just do what you say you're going to do. You're 99% better than all other agencies.
I agree. Sometimes it's just simplifying, right? And I agree on your point. I think that there are more agencies that are going to get exposed. I'm a baseball guy. So, when a batter steps in the batter's box at the major league level, they have these huge videos, scoreboard with all of these advanced metrics. There's no hiding how you're performing. And a little bit of an apples to oranges metaphor, but I do think that AI will expose agencies that aren't using best of breed technology to deliver impactful value fast. But to your point, these tools aren't replacing the advertising agency model. And I'm going to generalize here. I do think that AI can impact different types of agencies. So I think that, your more traditional creative agency that's building ads, hey, some of those AI tools, yeah, I mean, it's pretty amazing what those tools can do. And it can be argued, can it replace humans? I think on our side with paid media and specifically programmatic, the industry is not at a point. I mean, those, like the Trade Desk that we do a lot of business with, programmatic buying platform, it's had AI solutions for years and years. So we've been using its AI. It is not to a point where it can just replace human beings from building the campaign strategy and executing.
It's getting there, though.
It's getting there. It's helping our, what we call traders, our hands-on keyboard, campaign managers, manage more clients and deliver better results. So the way we look at our use of AI is that if we do this well, if we bring this product to market and we can execute, it's going to enable us to manage more clients. So that means we're driving additional revenue. We're driving incrementally better advertising performance for our clients using AI and querying, our data warehouse, all of those things. We're delivering insights faster. And we're doing all of this, Jason, without having to invest in new talent at the rate we otherwise would have. So if we can secure and manage with a great degree of accuracy, care, and performance, and hire one less trader or two less traders a year, that could be a swing of $200,000, Jason, that goes to the bottom line. And that's not because I'm sitting here as an agency owner that's cheap and not willing to invest in my team. I'm making those investments, but I'm making it in technology, and I'm giving really smart people that we pay really well these Ferrari tools to use to do better at their job, to drive more efficiency and add more value to clients. That just makes a ton of sense to us as a business. Why wouldn't we do that? And I think more and more agencies need to adopt that mindset. It's a tool that can aid and help you scale and grow faster and deliver better value to your clients. If you're just looking at it as a threat, you're not going to enter the ball game. You're going to be exposed and you're going to be replaced.
Yeah, one of my favorite movies is probably yours too, if you're baseball, Moneyball, right? How Billy Bean with the Oakland A's really kind of reinvented it. Or I guess the intern that he hired, right? And then he kind of led that, where they looked at like, how do they buy wins? And they didn't care about defense. They cared about offense. Like, how do you get on base? If you can get on base, right? Like, that's all we care about. Because if we can get on base, how much is a getting on base cost? How much is it a run cost? And that's kind of buying wins. And, since that movie, I always think about it with an agency of going, what is your get on base? What are the things that are the high impact? What are the things that are low impact that doesn't matter? Right? Like in baseball, obviously defense does matter, but he kind of proved it for a long time and reinvented the game for a little bit. Right? Like especially with, what Zuck talked about with Meta. They're creating things where you go, this is the audience I want to go after. I want to go after agency owners that are over 500,000 in revenue, blah, 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 blah. Right? It creates all that. So you're like in data entry and just kind of task doing versus outcome driven and problem solving. Like I always tell everybody, if your clients, when they have a big challenge, do they come to you, regardless if it's marketing versus, hey, can you create this banner image for me? Can you create this little thing for me that I'm going to email out? You're getting replaced on that. Like that's the telltale sign, the writing on the wall. Hey, go get a job somewhere, or I need to reinvent and think about how do I reposition the agency where, I'm constantly solving problems for my clients. And the other part I think is really big is making sure everyone on your team embraces this. If you are the one or your leadership team is the only one using AI, you're toast.
I agree.
Yeah. We've built community manager agents. We've built marketing agents. We built sales agents where we take all the transcripts from all our calls. We put them in there. We're like, if you are not doing this, you're getting left behind. And that's why I'm so passionate about it and so excited about it versus everyone. Some people I talk to, they're not in the mastermind. All the people in the mastermind are great about it, but they're kind of fearful of it. I'm like, well, how do you get over that?
You're going to remain fearful if you don't start and just try. But I can't agree more. I mean, we're now talking about, and I don't know if we're going to have it completely done in 2025, but we're going to go through a process where we're updating, all of our standard operating procedures, which are primarily, video based using Loom. And we need to move that to version 2.0, where our standard operating procedures in large part incorporate the AI tools we're using to solve A, B, or C. And I think as an agency leader, owner, setting that vision, hey, that we are going to be AI driven. And here's why that matters for you, teammates, right? You're going to be able to use best of breed technology to perform better at your job. It's going to make you more valuable in the marketplace, right? If you were to take your talents elsewhere. I think if you, and this isn't, just silver lining spin to your team, it's the truth. They need to understand the why behind it. They need to understand their role and responsibility. It's not preferred if you're using these tools. You're required to use these tools to perform at your job. But if they can also understand the benefits to them, and I believe there's true benefits, then the team should be highly motivated and excited to change the way you're operating and delivering. Here's just a very easy example from our business. Before we were using the data warehouse and then using AI prompts to understand how we might need to optimize a campaign to improve performance by 2 or 3%, or how we might adjust the media mix. Maybe we need to allocate more dollars to video-based campaigns and we're going to see a better brand lift or a lower cost per acquisition. Whatever the case may be, we were pulling these massive Excel reports from various advertising platforms. The team, our traders, our campaign managers don't like doing that. They like when the data is on the tee for them and they can decision off of that. But the process to get there sucks. So by using AI and technology, we're able to just circumvent that pain in the ass process for our team. That's a big morale boost that I think it's really hard to quantify, but it matters week in, week out, month in, month out, quarter over quarter, over the course of a year. That's not only saving a ton of time, but it's helping our team that we're investing a significant amount in to be more strategic and not get stuck in tasks that they don't like doing. I think that's really motivating and uplifting for them. And then where you can take that, Jason, is now you have employees that are less likely to leave. We know how hard and costly it is to emplace a valuable employee. So I think these things we're talking about are interconnected. It's not just for, your ability to deliver better performance for clients so they keep you and invest more. It's not just to aid your sales or marketing funnel. It's also to keep great talent and help them perform better at their jobs.
I love it. Well, for everyone listening, I want to make sure you subscribe, whatever podcast platform you listen to us on, where we do 2 shows a week. And we're probably going to add a third and try some cool stuff out. And if you want to be around really cool people that can see the things you might not be able to see, we'd love for you to chat about and check out our community. Go to agencymastery.io. And until next time, have a swank day.